Hi, everyone. I'm Alicia from Quick and Delish, and I filmed the live video twice today already. This is my third shot, third take. So I learned that my internet doesn't work well in the kitchen with my laptop computer, and my laptop computer has Windows 8, and it wants to die, I think. Anyway, I wanted to tell you. I did some meal prep today, and I like to incorporate beans in what I'm eating. And the topic for today's video is beans, and I'm gonna set a timer for today. It's so fun, learning technology and challenging ourselves to do better. Okay, set the timer. Okay, so did some meal prep. So instead of cooking like one thing together, like the onions with the turkey with and build a meal in a pot. What I like to do is I like to cook a lot more in at one time. And so I'll cook a pound of turkey all together in one pan and then two packages of sliced mushrooms. Like I use sliced mushrooms here because I like to cut out any time with prep normally. And so recently I'm just being self-aware that I just ditched my face. Anyway, I haven't been outside all day yet, so okay, so if I can buy something cut up and save my time, like mushrooms isn't a big deal, right? And sure, cutting mushrooms is not a big deal either. But anyway, so here I have some ground turkey just cooked on its own. And ground turkey cooks really quickly because it's really small already, right? And so that's a bonus of small things. They cook quickly. I have some sauteed mushrooms, and I did in the same pan, but at different times, and then some roasted sweet potatoes. And then I washed a can of black beans and red kidney beans together. And then I warmed them up in some sauteed Swiss chard with garlic. I sliced the garlic to save some time. I prefer to mince it if I can. And I looked at I have a food processor, which is really helpful for mincing garlic. And I tend to buy peeled garlic if I can, if the store has it. Um, what else is in here? I have some raw asparagus that I cut thinly. And then I made 6 of these with 1 pound of turkey, 2 cans of beans, some sweet potatoes, and some Swiss chard, asparagus, and mushrooms. And it's delicious. So I got 6 of those today, and I'll post the pictures of what I made on Instagram if you're a IG-er. I'm sure IG stands for something else. So I cooked 2 pans of sweet potatoes diced, and the diced sweet potatoes cook more quickly than like steak fry cut sweet potatoes. Okay, so that was a little bit about my meal prep that I did. And my meal prep has really not changed since the whole shelter in place has begun. I haven't been able to find some of the stuff that I would prefer to have, but we are asked to be flexible at this moment, right? And maybe you are able to do a little bit more cooking. Like I think some people are relying on canned foods more than they have to, but I understand like stocking up on it certainly, so you have more options just in case. But I think there is still like a good available source of fresh produce out there. And even it might be good to check out if you can get a CSA box delivered to your house, or sometimes they have drop offs for CSA boxes. CSA stands for Community Supported Agriculture, which would be a really cool way to get fresh produce. Okay, sorry. I'm going to stay focused on the bean topic. So I use canned beans all the time, and I cook my own dry beans. I just switch it up. I like to be able to just grab something and go make something really quickly, and then also like make something. And like making dry beans is really easy. Um I'll just keep you for a couple more minutes. Thank you, timer. um So dry beans are super easy to cook. I have an Instant Pot, and they cook really quickly in an Instant Pot, and on the stovetop they cook really quickly. So soak them overnight, and then you discard that water, and then you start with fresh water. You boil them, and then they'll probably just take somewhere around 35 minutes to cook. Now they're really old beans; they might take longer, like 45 minutes to an hour. Maybe a little more than an hour and a half if they're like really, really old. But dry beans that you keep replenishing your dry bean supply, they should only take like 35 to 45 minutes to cook. So that's really not bad. And then I put them in small containers because I really don't like, so if I make a big batch of beans and then have them sitting in the refrigerator, which I have done before, like years ago, and then they're sitting in that liquid. And so you want to rinse the beans when you cook them because you'll just have less risk of bean consumption related flatulence, right? And it's just like statistically likely that we'll have some flatulence because the microorganisms are eating the fiber. And so they're creating gas. It's a thing. But if the gas is really bad or if it's problematic, then there might be something going on. So it could be cool to look at what else is going on in the food. Like if it's a high fat meal, like bacon and beans, like that is sort of a recipe for a flatulence disaster. So just be mindful of what things are and like some people might not have a problem digesting bacon and beans together or high fat meal and beans. Everybody's different, right? And that's why it's so important to follow our plan, the plan that works for us. Okay, so canned beans, I always rinse them no matter what. And then I add them to water or add them to salads or whatever. And so some of my favorite brands I want to show you. I'm very specific about brands and what grocery store to go to about for certain things because you get different things at every grocery store and every grocery store is different, right? It's super fun that way. Sorry if you weren't 100% sure I'm from the East Coast and that was sarcasm. So, don't you wish there was like one grocery store for like to get everything? Okay, so Trader Joe's previously, before this whole shelter in place situation, was my go to favorite bean because canned bean source. Because when you open the can and you dump out the beans to rinse them, they would all come out without a problem. And I didn't have to grab a spoon and like scoop it out. Sometimes there's like beans stuck in the bottom, and that's a little bit annoying because it takes another minute of my life. I'm trying to be careful of how I spend my time. Am I right? I'm mindful of the time I spent with you too. Okay, so Trader Joe's is an awesome brand, and I solidly know that they are a really good source for beans that just come out of the can easily, no problem, just one shake. um, and then this is a local, there's a small produce store in my neighborhood, and this is the Mid-East brand, and they have a really cool I think the package is really cool because they really show off the sexy red kidney beans. Anyway, I'm going to wrap this up soon. So this is a really good brand, and the beans came out really easily. The third brand that I learned of recently with shelter in place situation was Goya, and Goya also has a line of organic beans as well, which is kind of cool. And they have like the easy open top, which I kind of like actually. I used to not like that, but I don't know. I'm over it. It can be helpful, especially if you don't have a can opener or your can opener is like 20 years old like mine. I need to get a new one. Okay, so I want to introduce you to a couple brands of dried beans, or one brand of dried beans I recently purchased. I got, so there's this brand, Edison Granary, and I'm going to show you a couple other products that I got from them this past week. And they're a California company, small company. They're really cool. I got some chickpeas by them. I got some red kidney beans, and I got some pink beans. And they have other beans. The last bean I wanted to show you that's dried are mung beans. Let me see if I can show you. So these are dried mung beans. They're green. They take 20 minutes to cook, and you don't have to soak them. They're really cool because they have a lot of fiber, a lot of protein, and they're just like jam-packed. And you could add them to salads. You can add them to soups. I made this really good dal kind of soup that was Indian spice flavored for a cooking demonstration I did. I don't know, before shelter in place. I can't remember, but it came out really good, and I should probably post the recipe. Um, so anyway, there's a huge variety, like plethora of beans out there. And the reason why we should eat more beans is they have lots of fiber. They have carbohydrates in them and they have a little bit of fat. They have lots of minerals and vitamins in them. So they're nutrient dense. So with the amount of calories they give a lot of other nutrients, which is really super awesome. So a way to reduce the amount of animal products you're eating. So I put about 2 ounces of ground turkey in the 6 meals I made. Sorry, I'm pointing at something that you don't know I'm pointing to. So I made 6 of these. So 2 ounces of turkey about, and then half cup of beans, a little bit of sweet potatoes, some mushrooms, asparagus, Swiss chard, and sauteed garlic, and that's it. Delicious. Sometimes I add salsa to that. Sometimes I add some puree soup to make it taste a little bit different. Like I have some roasted butternut squash soup, or like some carrot ginger soup just to add some moisture to make it taste a little bit different, avocado, whatever you want. Cool. So the last thing I'm going to tell you is I will post the registration in the next couple days because I'm doing I'm doing a daily video through this self-care is our best defense challenge, right? And I crack myself up. I hope you're cracking up. You better be cracking up. So I'm going to post registration to 2 free nutrition talks that I'm going to provide to the world, to you. So the 2 talks are, one is eating for a better immune system. Eating for a better immune system. You say that 20 times fast. And the second class is eating for better digestion for life. And so better digestion isn't just for somebody that has digestive issues right now, it's for anyone, because we always want to make sure our digestive system is working awesomely. Because even the colon, like the muscles in the colon, need to be exercised, just like our brain needs to be exercised, just like our body needs to be exercised. Everything in our body needs exercise. So fiber provides exercise for the muscles in our colon. Isn't that cool? I know. Okay. So the 2 classes will be, I told you what the topics are. One's about your immune system, one's about better digestion. And the dates are posted in the description of this video: April 18th at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and May 2nd, 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time, and they are both on Saturdays. So the class is going to be 30 minutes long, and then there's going to be 10 to 15 minutes of Q&A afterwards, and it's going to be awesome. So I'm going to post the registration in the description the next couple days. So keep an eye out on it. In the meantime, join my email list so you'll hear about it as well. And awesome. So awesome. So it looks like I'm going to have to film from my living room unless I can figure out something fantastic. All right, let's have an awesome Sunday evening. Cheers. Let's stay focused.